Hello, good morning, everyone. Once again, I'm Teacher Renzo and I am your science subject teacher. Today, I will discuss about fault. But before that, I just want you to greet a happy synchronous day. All right, a happy synchronous day. I just want to see on your face a big smile. Okay, please give me a big smile. Okay, thank you. So let us discuss about what is fault and what is the different type of fault. Okay, fault. Okay, but before we have a fault, we have an earthquake, right? So an earthquake is a vibration of the earth due to the rapid release of energy. Where is come energy? So energy is come from deep inside of our interior parts of our earth. So the result of this is a fault that we can see in our earth crust. So a fault is a breaking or is a break in the earth crust, and along the break significant movement takes place. So we have different kinds of movement or crust plate crust movement in our environment. So you can see the fault in the area crash and a long break significant movement has taken place. The accumulated energy grows strong enough, the plates break free. These faults were not always there beneath the earth. There are forces that move the earth's place. The processes happening below the earth will discuss in detail in your next level or in the grade 10 science. Okay? But to simplify, explain how energy is stored in rock and how energy is released during an earthquake, there is the elastic rebound theory. So, for you to know what is elastic rebound theory, so elastic rebound theory, most earthquakes are produced by the rapid release of elastic energy stored in rock that has been subjected to great forces. And one is when the strength of the rock is exceeded, it suddenly breaks, causing the vibration of an earthquake. So we have different kinds of, or we have different types of fault. But for now, we have here a different uh, fault or zones that we locate the fault. All right, we have the astrain crust. Okay, it is happen in our earth crust when we have that an earthquake or before the fault happen. We have this. So we have an unstrained crust. We have stressed to elastic limit, and we have rebound to relieve stress. So in this table, we have here the existing fault zone. So you can locate here. And for the stress to elastic limit, you can locate here. And for the rebound to relieve stress, you can locate here. Okay? So we have a different movement of our earth crust. So when too much bending occurs and the limit is reached, the rack suddenly snap. Okay, the bent rack is straightened out and vibrate. The vibration travel in all direction, and people in different places will feel them as a quake. Okay, I know you already feel this. Okay, there are different fault based on the relative movement of the blocks on either side of the faults. The rocks on the both side of a fault can move up or down or sideways. But before you understand this, you should be able to determine first which is hanging wall and the foot wall of the fault. So let us describe what is footwall and hanging wall. So a footwall is a block of grass that lies underneath a fault plane. So when you say underneath a fault plane, this is fault wall. Okay, as you can see in this figure, it is the part of the crest that remain in the same position. All right. A hanging wall. A hanging wall is a block of grass that is located above the fault plane. Its shape rests or hangs on the wall. Alright? It is the hanging wall. Okay. We have three types of faults. The first one is unmoved grass, or there's a fault but the movement of grass is not happen. We have the reverse fault. Alright, reverse faults form when the hanging wall moves up. The forces creating reverse faults are compressional, pushing the side together. In normal fault, the last type, which is normal fault, form when the hanging wall drops down. The forces that create normal force are pulling the side apart or extensional. So we have the additional type of fault, which is the strike slip fault. So when we say strike slip fault have walls that move sideways, not up or down. All right, not up or down. That is move sideways. So for you to understand the different types of faults, let us watch this short
Welcome to Moo
video.
Math and Science and Types of Faults. The Earth is a dynamic and constantly changing place. The tectonic plates which sit on the asthenosphere shift and move. This movement creates stress, and the rocks at the surface may break in response to this, a little like breaking this pencil. When the rock breaks, cracks are created which are called faults. On either side of the fault are blocks of rock called fault blocks. When these fault blocks move, earthquakes may occur. There are three main types of faults: strike-slip faults, normal faults, and reverse faults. Let's first determine the difference between the hanging wall and the foot wall. In all faults except for vertical faults, the hanging wall is the block above the fault and the foot wall is below. Two simple ways to identify the foot and hanging wall is to place your finger on the fault surface and move it up. It will automatically be located on the hanging wall. The hanging wall will have an angle less than 90 degrees at the top, and the foot wall will have an angle greater than 90 degrees at the top. Let's get started with the faults. In a strike-slip fault, the blocks move past each other horizontally. A strike-slip fault occurs due to shear stress, which pushes the rocks horizontally but in opposite directions. Strike-slip faults are common along transform boundaries like the San Andreas Fault. During a normal fault, the hanging wall moves down relative to the foot wall. These faults are called normal because this is what you would normally expect the faults to do. Normal faults are a result of tension, which stresses or pulls the rock apart. Normal faults are common along divergent boundaries. The Basin Range area is an example of this. A reverse fault occurs when the hanging wall moves up the foot wall. These are called reverse because this is the reverse of what you would expect as a result of gravity. Reverse faults occur as a result of compression, which is stress that squeezes the rocks together. The San Gabriel Mountains are caused by reverse faults. I hope this video helps with faults. Thanks for watching, and Moo Math uploads a new math or science.
Okay. And now let us elaborate. Okay? The friction along faults. So, over many years, rock on the opposite side of the fault move, but friction on faults lock it and prevents slip. How rock move along a fault depend on how much friction there is between the opposite side of the fault. If you can recall from your physics lesson, friction is the force that opposes the motion of one surface as it moves across another surface. Friction exists because surfaces are not perfectly smooth. So where friction along a fault is low, rock on both sides of the fault slide by each other without much striking or sticking. Where friction is moderate, the sides of the pole jump together, then from time to time, they jerk free, producing small earthquakes. Where friction is high, the rock lock together and do not move. In this case, stress increases until it is strong enough to overcome the friction force. Going back to the real scenario, giving at the start of the lesson, here is our country, the fault line that is found in Cebu, which resulted in 7.3 magnitude earthquake in just one example of a fault that may have stored its energy for years until its break and resulted into a strong vibration or earthquake. So explore the online map made by Feebox that show the distribution of active faults in the Philippines. So if you explore that on internet, you can know where is the faults line located. So you can see your location near along the fault line kung malapit kayo, and you can identify at least cities near you that lie along fault line. So that it's for today. So proceed to your Edmodo and proceed to your activity and answer those activity that I prepared for you. Once again, I'm Teacher Renzo, and goodbye and God bless you